Hey, this is Sridhar. This is a continuation of the previous session. We can also execute PLSQL block using execute immediate. Normally, if you are writing some procedure, you will be passing the input parameter and also the output parameter. If you are passing input to the procedure, then you will be using in parameter, and if you are getting values, output values from the procedure, then you will be specifying it as out parameter. In the previous session, I used only the in parameter. Here I have used only the in parameter, that is passing input to this procedure rise salary. I have used only the in parameter. Now I am going to use both in and out parameter. So I am going to replace this procedure by passing both in and out parameters and execute this procedure using execute immediate. Let me create this procedure. Create or replace procedure. Procedure name is rise salary, and PEMPID is my in parameter in integer, and PSAL is also my in parameter, that is integer. I am passing employee ID and salary to this procedure, and I am going to update salary for the given employee ID to PSAL, and after that I am going to retrieve the first name and last name of the employee. So I am going to retrieve the details of the first name and last name, and those retrieved details will be assigned here. So I am using out parameter. So the procedure will be returning values f name and l name, that is first name and last name. So we are giving input employee ID and salary as the input to the procedure, and the procedure is giving output as f name and l name, that is first name and last name. So constructing the SQL statement, update table employees, set salary equals :1, that is the first bind argument, where employee ID equals :2, where employee ID equals :2, that is my second bind argument. Once the salary is updated for the given employee ID, I want to return the first name and the last name of the updated employee. So my first name and last name, returning first name and last name, will be returned into :3 and :4. So :3 and :4 are my third and fourth bind argument. So I am going to execute the statement, execute immediate this SQL statement. Since I am using the bind argument, I have to use the using class using PSAL. Since my first input to this SQL statement, here my first input to the SQL statement is here :1. Even if you put :A, this is my first input because this comes the first. The SQL statement starts from here and it reaches here. So this is my first input to this SQL statement. So this first input is replaced as PSAL, and my second input here :2, this is replaced as PEMPID, and I am returning first name and last name into :3 and :4. So I am using the returning into class in the execute immediate, returning into f name and l name. What is f name and l name? F name and l name are the out parameters defined in this procedure, f name and l name. So the first name and last name will be stored in f name and l name variables. So those variables will be passed as the output parameter, and it will reach the calling program, and I am printing the result. Let me execute. It's compiled, completed, and I have to call this procedure from anonymous procedure using execute immediate. These are the variable declaration. Since I am going to retrieve first name and last name from the procedure, I am using f name and l name variables here. I am initializing the variables as varchar 2 and constructing the PLSQL block. I want to call this procedure anonymously. So within single quotes, putting the begin, my procedure name is rise salary, and my inputs are employee ID, salary, and first name and last name. employee ID and salary are the input parameters, and first name and last name are my output parameters. Anyhow, I have to put all the values while calling the procedure rise salary and closing the PLSQL block by using the end statement, end semicolon, closing the single quotes, ending. And I'm going to call this procedure using the execute immediate, the PLSQL block, where the PLSQL block contains the entire statement, all these statements. Using what are the input parameters? Using in, what are the input parameters to this procedure rise salary? Only employee ID and salary are my input parameters. So you have to put using in, the employee ID is 199 and my salary is 9876. Let me put 5876. Using in, input parameter are 199 and 5876 is my input parameter. And what are my output parameters? Out, f name, comma out, l name. So these are my output parameters. So you have to mention out, f name and out, l name. F name and l name are the variables initialized here. So f name and l name are the values will be passed as output parameter to this procedure rise salary, and the rise salary will return the values of first name and last name, and those first name and last name will be stored here, f name and l name, and I am printing the result, f name and l name. Let me execute. It's completed. Here you got the result. Salary is updated to 5876 for the employee ID 199, and the name is Douglas Grad. This is the statement printed from the procedure, and this is the statement I am printing from the program, calling program. Salary updated for f name and l name. Salary is updated for Douglas Grad. Let me check in the employees table whether it is updated or not. In the employees table 199, 5876 is my salary. So in this way also you can execute the procedure from using execute immediate. In here we are using both in and out parameters. That is only difference between the previous session and this session. Thanks for watching.